What is up, y'all? It's your boy Phoenix, and I know it has been a while. It has been almost like 3 weeks now, maybe almost a month at this point. But I am back, and I wanted to make this video in regards to the anniversary for ZZZ and just talk about it in general, specifically the W engines, actually. Um, if you guys don't know, I play a lot of Zenless Zone Zero, and I enjoy it as well. It's one of those gacha games that just sucks me in, and I just can't get enough out of it. And there's a lot of characters in it as well that are just amazing. However, there are some questionable things about the standard banners and characters and how you can properly play them. Of course, I won't go into too much detail about every single character here. I only want to focus on the W engines that they showcase. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys each and every W engine and their applications on various other individuals aside from the 5 stars in this video. I want to clarify that this is on my own opinion and as a player who has played this game since 1.2 and knows most of the ins and outs and has a very solid idea of which one of these would suit characters better than some others which will be completely useless. So take whatever I'm about to say with a grain of salt when going for these W engines. This is specifically tailored to new players who find that they want to try out ZZZ, and for any of the OGs who feel like they don't know much about them since they don't have these specific W engines. Without further ado, I'll just get it right into it and start with the first one. So starting things off, we have the Fusion compiler, an anomaly-based W engine which is very selective towards many agents, honestly. Grace, of course, signature W engine, she's gonna utilize it perfectly, but I would honestly recommend you guys not use it on others. Maybe Yanagi can use it, honestly, given the extra AP it provides along with the attack buff. Yanagi will make use of it the best aside from Grace, but I kid you guys not, no one other will be able to use it to the full. You could possibly put it on Bernice since she also relies on X special attack a lot, but other than that, there won't be others who can fully put this one to use. All in all, do not go for it, and just, you can easily skip it if you want, but if you like playing Grace and if you want to make good use of her, go for it. That's on you. And yeah, there's not much I can say about this other than the fact that the pen ratio isn't a stat that is commonly used in a lot of W engines for at least anomaly agents. So yeah. Hellfire Gears is a decent stun if you're working out or you're just like you're new to the game and you have Sun agents, but they're not performing as well because their impact is low due to them using A rank W engines. But there's a catch to using this specifically on its own. It is only tailored if you use the X special attack often. Say, for example, you're using this on a lighter, he will not be able to benefit from it almost all the time. Maybe for max of 10 seconds, his impact will shoot through the roof, but then after that 10-second uptime is over, you won't be able to do it well enough. So you have to be able to consistently use your X special attack at least twice in a row to be able to make sure you are getting more or mileage out of this. This is why Kaleda is using this more often since she does rely on her X special attack very often. So I would just tell you to skip over this unless you are, again, if you want to have Kaleda and you're using her, then go for it. And specifically if you are a new player, you'd find more mileage out of this, but for OGs they will not be able to use it at all, and yeah, just don't. Lycon's signature, which is called the restrained, now this one is actually an upgrade from the Hellfire gears. Why am I saying that? Is because it relies on basic attacks to increase damage and daze, which is basically the damage you're dealing to stun your opponent. The stun bar is getting filled up every time you land a hit. So this in its own is a really, really good W engine for stun agents as a whole. 5 times means 5 into 6, which is 30% increase in both their personal damage and their day's damage, which is basically called impact in a way. And it is completely useful towards even someone like lighter. Like, I'm being honest with you guys, I have lighter signature. Of course I don't use this one because at the end of the day, of course I don't have it. But you will benefit from this for any of your stuns. I am not kidding. Any of your stuns can utilize this. They just have to use their basic attacks, and that's that. You will have more damage and days if you keep using your basic attacks. That's just me, of course, but I would highly recommend you get this one over the other two that have been mentioned so far. Moving on to the engine that I like the most, to the one that I like the least. And a lot of OG players can agree to me that the seal cushion is the worst of the worst W engines to ever exist in this whole game. This is not tailored to any agent other than Nekomata and Billy. And hell, Billy couldn't even use it fully. If you think about it, he can literally not shoot from the back. He's only going to utilize half the passive, which is a 20% physical damage increase. Not to mention, there's only one good upside to this is the crit rate, but other than that, it is jack shit. You will not benefit. I am not kidding. I'm sorry for the word usage. I went a little overboard here, but I am not kidding when this will not benefit your account. You need to skip it. Do not pull for it. Unless you're a diehard Nekomata fan, do not pull this thing, okay? I'm serious. Do not pull it. Moving on from that extremely hard vent and rage-filled commentary, I will say this Brimstone holds a decent value in terms of attack W engines. Even to this day, you can use this one effectively on a variety of them, and I have actually swapped this around with other attacks as well myself. Namely, I've done it with Julian, Evelyn, and Ellen. They have been ones that have been getting like thrown around like a flipping ball, but the reason I say this is because at level 60 it requires a 30% increase in attack, which basically puts you above 3000 attack, which is a lot for a normal attack agent. It is an extremely huge, absurd amount, which is perfect. Any attack agent benefits from the highest amount of attack on their stats. Not to mention, the passive itself has more value than any other standard here in so far, making this very viable for any of your attack agents. You can even use it on your A rank attack and you will be perfectly fine. Anton can make use of this. Hell, he can literally put this on him and he'll hit harder and penetrate deeper. Okay, that sounded weird. Sorry about that. But yeah, the passive itself, of course, use any basic dash or dash counter, you'll get a 3.5 increase. Multiply that by 8, you're basically getting about 28% more. This will only be better if you have more copies, which means you can spread this across your other agents, or make it to one specific agent who can use a overclock and get it to S2. The more stages it's on, the better it gets. That's 5 being 7% and to up to 8 times, which is a whopping 56% increase in the equipper's attack. And that in out of itself is a lot of attack. Let me just say that real quick. Finally, the W engine I feel like is pretty like it's I can't say it's bad, but I can't say it's good either, because I don't know how many people would actually willingly play Rena just for the pen ratio and just, the damage boost that it provides. Ideally, of course, for support agents, this is a very, very good W engine if you think about it. It offers a decent and bit of energy regen off field, not to mention the whole squad attack boost it provides for 3 seconds, and the alongside that, increasing the effect even further. The effect gets more and more better as time goes on. So that makes this W engine very, very good for a lot of supports. But which ones would benefit the most? I would honestly argue that if you have A ranks like Lucy or Nicole, you would probably find some use to it. But I would only ever tell you to give it to Lucy rather than Nicole. Of course, I could be wrong about this, as in my own words, and I, I personally would suggest to you that you use Lucy's signature over this anytime soon, because you won't really benefit from the pen ratio, like like I said with Fusion Compiler. Ideally, of course, and once again, the only person who can use it is the character is assigned to, which is Rena, and yeah. If you want to stick it to other supports, you're more than welcome. I would just keep this far away from Astra Yao, though. You do not want her running around with this specific W engine. It is not gonna suit her needs. You're better off putting on Sokaku's signature weapon on Astra Yao than having to use this. Just saying. All in all, these are my final thoughts. The W engines you want to go for are specifically the Brimstone and the Restrained. All other four W engines won't suit you as better, but they will have their own uses if they're paired with their own characters. Ideally, you do not want to get Hellfire gears. If you end up getting it, then well, just stick it on Kaleda if you have her. If you don't, then I don't know. Just put it in the back seat. But yeah, if at the end of the day you would ask me what my thoughts are on the anniversary, I am very, very satisfied with it. And I would personally say that if you are going to pick up one out of these 5 S rank characters, go for Lycon and maybe Irina and maybe Soldier 11 if you can actually nail her combat down, which I did because I was a 1.2 player. But I just genuinely think you should mainly go for Lycon. My suggestion is you go for him. You have a solid stunner on your team. This is for new players. As for me, I myself am going to be getting my M3 S1 Lycon, and it'll be perfection. Regardless, at the end of this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves wherever you are during these times, and I will see you then. Peace!